Oh, it's a medium-sized one. It is time for action. It is time for conscious choice. Do you wish your life to be as it always was, or do you wish to embrace quantum change and create wonders? Do you wish to live through the mundane experience, or do you wish to live an exciting, vibrant, and diverse experience? Do you wish to experience true freedom, or do you wish to continue to experience limitation? Do you wish to be awake as an individuation of God, or asleep? Do you wish to be proactive each moment, or passive and complacent each moment? Do you wish continuous growth and expansion, or continuity of the old routines? Do you wish to embrace your power, or to remain disempowered? It is your choice to create the life experience you seek, actively and consciously each moment. The time to choose is now. The time to act is now. The time to be fully and completely is now. The time to live consciously through your open heart is now. Choose freedom now and expand it to the magnificence of your totality, and live your truth fully and completely each moment from now throughout eternity. Wow.
That's great. And, I really like that message, but, sometimes, but sometimes things stand in people's way of being able to make that choice, that empowering choice. And that's one thing being a healing facilitator does to help people, right?
Yeah. Oh,
it
definitely.
Clears those. And can things from yeah, go ahead, Hank. I'm sorry.
It clears the blockages and the limitations we have. I mean, let's just say somebody is running a program of intolerance. When that program is active at the cellular level, they will be intolerant, always. Once you release the program, now they can choose to respond differently. And then they can move forward to take control of their life as opposed to being on autopilot to just, repeating the same situations over and over again.
So let's say that someone did have an issue with being intolerant. What kind of things are you talking about that you could heal, and what kind of things could be creating that scenario play out in their lives?
Okay, cellular programming is something that doesn't operate at a conscious level. It operates unconsciously, yet it still governs our life. I mean, I worked with somebody yesterday whose sister called me who was suicidal. And when you see the programs that were running, you can understand why he was suicidal. And I'm not going to mention any, actually, I didn't even consider doing this, but he's on the top of the desk because I also have to work with addictions for him this afternoon. But to give you an understanding, when you look at the matrix of the cellular programmings that were driving him, he was running hate of life, separation, injustice. So obviously hate of life means you have difficulty enjoying life. Separation means you feel alone and apart. Injustice operates two ways. One way means like you're experiencing the injustices of the world, or on the opposite side, you want to go out and fight or correct the injustices of the world, or have both, or flip-flopping back and forth. He was running a block to success, block to responsibility, a block to life, which means, again, it limits his happiness and joy. A critical parent archetype, which makes him reactive and critical of self and others. A feminine archetype, which has to do with giving and receiving love, so he was blocked on love. And a masculine archetype, which has to do with self-assertive and self-image. So, and which usually makes a person either loud and overbearing or meek and submissive, or flip-flopping back and forth as a passive-aggressive. So that was his core programming. And it was aggravated by some cellular experiences of loss, which added abandonment, unhappiness, unworthiness, unforgiveness into his life experience, limited his relationships. This is really weird. This is all extemporaneous. I had no idea we were going to talk about this, Sherry. And added anger, frustration, depression, made him codependent, made him very much out of control, and in one of those cellular experiences, suicide was the end result. So that was the composite of what was driving him. It's now gone.
Well, you can certainly see why someone who had those kind of hate of life and not feeling accepted and all those things might tend to
become suicidal. Exactly.
But how did you know that he had these blocks? I mean, how did you pick them out? Or did he come to you and say, I have these blocks?
Actually, he didn't. His sister did. who is very concerned, and his sister has taken one of my classes in spiritual response therapy, which allows us to identify the programming and get them cleared. So it's just a matter of, once I got his name, his birth date, I need to get his soul's permission to work with him. And once I did that, it's a matter of clearing out the soul's records. And
so
then
is that
those soul's records are, in many cases, yes. And it's interesting because some people, they could say, well, past lives exist or they don't exist. I've been doing this type of healing work now for 16 years. And I'm a bit of an expert on what goes on in the souls arena. And our religions teach us that, yes, we do have souls, but unfortunately, that's all we know is that we have one. We've never really learned too much more beyond that. So I usually will communicate it, instead of discussing in the souls arena, which most people don't have any clue about, in terms of cellular programming, because that's how the soul's discord carries forward into our lives, creating these discordant themes. And then once you go in there, and everybody's programs are different. I've been doing this now for 16 years. I've worked with over 13,000 clients. And you can go through all of my archives, and you'd be hard-pressed to find more than a handful or two of the people that even have 4 programs in common. And adults usually have anywhere from, on the low end, occasionally will go have 8 or 9. On the high end, you'll have 17 or 18. But most adults are in the 10 to 15, 10 to 16 range. And it's just amazing. You clear them out, and people have a whole new lease on life. And that you do once. And from a business model, I'm out of business, but those results will last for the rest of his life.
Okay, well, we're going to take a little commercial break right now, but when we get back, I'm going to ask you this question. How was he when he came to you, and was he noticeably different when the end of the session was over?